Welcome back, ladies and gents. Welcome back here. If you're still hanging in with me this morning, once again, my name is Joseph. Welcome to our live trade room. It's 11:35 Eastern time right now. It's Tuesday morning, second day back after an extended break from the markets during quad witching last week. Had a phenomenal Monday morning. Only took 2 trades on Monday in a very sloppy Monday morning, but did fantastically well. This morning we came back out, and another day similar to Monday. Slow, sloppy. It felt like the market was a little bit asleep still from maybe still hungover from St. Patty's Day last weekend. The bottom line is, though, we had very similar market personalities. Slow, sloppy, and we knew we got some basic clues from the news. We got some clues from the dollar. We got some clues from the euro and crude and gold, and of course, ended up making some pretty good cash because of it. Now you can see all my trades today were indeed on crude oil. It was the only one that gave us any real market personality this morning. Now, before we start talking about all these trades we took today, we make it look very easy here because we have a simple trading plan that we execute every day the same way. As they always say, right? Repetition is the stepbrothers, nephews, next door neighbors of success, right? Something like that. I'm kidding with you. What I always say is repetition, when I consistently apply the same thing over and over again, whether I'm playing soccer or American football, right? Whether I'm a day trader or whether I'm learning to speak Spanish. If I consistently apply the same thing every day, I get better at it, I get more consistent at it, and I master it. That's why we always say, follow the plan. The plan will set you free. So while we talk about these trades today, I do want to remind you all, there is risk out there in these markets, so be careful. If you're a guest in this trade room right now, if you're not a member, you haven't gone through our intense trainings. We do trainings every day, Monday through Thursday. I don't know any other online educational resource that gives you private trainings 4 times a week after a live trade room, where, as you can see, we give you the exact entries, the stops, and the targets. By the way, that fast track just hit your target at 55. So did somebody say something about staying that trade short on crude? I hope you members are in that trade still for the fast track and you're packing up those ticks right now. Just a great example of us executing a simple strategy. So we're going to make it very easy on you guys as members to follow a simple strategy. But just be aware, though, before you guys join as members, before you go through training, before you get all the tools you need, and then learn how to use those tools, just be careful with that risk capital. All right? Speak to somebody you trust regarding your risk capital. I want everyone to have a safe, responsible, and an efficient way of becoming a professional trader with us. Ain't nothing worse than forcing trades, losing money, and you're just delaying your success. So keep it simple, keep it slow. As a member, you'll be training all this information. Now, this morning, couple big clues, didn't we? Now, we had a pretty good day. Besides me giving back about $100 at the end of the morning here, okay, had a pretty good day. Like every day, we have one simple job. Come in, plan our trades, and trade our plan. I have no idea what these numbers will look like when I come in at 7:45. I have a high level of confidence. I'm very confident that if I follow my plan, I'm going to make money in the long run. So just like we started our day this morning, talking about if I follow my plan, I'm going to be okay in the long run. When I come in this morning, I don't know how the day is going to turn out. All I know is these are the clues I'm getting. Here's how I'm going to apply those clues. Here's my trading plan. Let's now trade the plan. So this morning we went in, we tried to buy at some support, price went through that support, and we got short. Again, tried to buy at support, price went through the support, we got short. By about 10:30 this morning, this is a big clue, we had news out of Iran, out of Kuwait, out of Saudi Arabia, talking about things such as the Hormuz Canal, okay, a very important shipping route for big cargo ships for crude oil, affect supply, and then a very brazen, a very bold comment directly from the lips of the Saudi Arabia oil minister, who he himself said that the supply concerns were non-existent. They were all, not warranted is what he said. So we got a little bit of a heads up late, 10 o'clock, 10:15, 10:30, that the markets were going to start selling off here because of this news of no supply concerns. Saudi Arabia, Libya, Iran, Kuwait, and out in the Middle East. So the first clue we saw this morning was that news. And that helped us to provide a little bit more confidence selling those retracements with new lower lows. One of the biggest clues we got today, though, in my opinion, was the dollar. In fact, if you recall, if you go back to your morning prep, you know me, guys, I'm not much of a person for hindsight. Go back to your morning prep. Now, we post these live on the blog before we take these trades so everyone can learn right along with me. By the way, everyone, I want to remind you guys, too, we post a lot of stuff on our blog that doesn't get sent out in our newsletter. So join the site. Okay, we post all kinds of great videos, all kinds of articles, things that most traders will want to know about, but we don't put them in our newsletter because the newsletter, we only want to send it out a couple times a day. So don't forget to join the site. That way you'll always get every new update. Well, here's that dollar index trading strategy. So open up these charts right here. These were posted, as you can see here, much earlier this morning. And this was the big concern. This was the big concern in the chart we had, was this price wedge. On the dollar, we had a price wedge. And when we have a price wedge on the dollar, we immediately think fake out breakouts, contain price action. So this was a concern for us because we knew that if this dollar became narrower and narrower, we also would get narrower and narrower price action on the markets we trade most. So the first clue we got this morning was a wedge on the dollar. Well, I'm sorry. First clue was the news. Second clue was the dollar personality that came with the price wedge.